What's up, everyone? As you can tell by the title, this is my N64 collection. Let's get into it. Like normal, I'll just go through and share a little bit of details on ones that I care about a little bit more, as well as I'm going to actually tell you about 5 games that I used to have or I had memories with that I do not have at the moment that I am actually hunting for or looking for. I'll go over those when the time comes. This is another small but growing collection that I have that I restarted in the last year or so. Now, the first one is WWF Warzone. Uh, Fun game, great game. I guess that's full of my opinion because a lot of people didn't like it because you had to do a bunch of different combos, kind of like Mortal Kombat, in order to do different moves and finishers and stuff. I liked it a lot, but that was mainly because Stone Cold Steve Austin was one in the game and on the cover. I'm biased because I'm a large Stone Cold Steve Austin fan. This game is really fun, but then I mean, my biggest pet peeve with it is that you can't choose who you face. Every time you go into like do an exhibition match, it randomly chooses who you face, so you can't choose. So that kind of annoyed me a little bit. I like beating up on like The Rock or Kane or something like that. The next game is Super Mario 64. Another great game. Really good. I don't think I ever beat it as a kid, but played it, of course. Like everybody that owned a Nintendo 64 played like Super Mario 64, Mario Kart, a bunch of other games. Most people as well normally played this if they had a Nintendo 64 at some point. And this is GoldenEye 007, 007 GoldenEye. Really good game. Rare was a hot commodity during the N64. They just were on fire. They made so many good games on the Nintendo 64. And I wish that they were able to make some more of these games. Obviously, the talent isn't there anymore, or like the same talent. But would be great if they would have had more opportunities with this. But then, of course, Microsoft owns Rare now. And I'm sure, like I said, a lot of the talent is no longer there. But 007 GoldenEye, I remember playing that a lot with my cousins, and we would just run around and just fight each other and try to kill each other. It was just really fun. Next game was my only console Pokemon game before I got Pokemon Coliseum for the GameCube, and that's Pokemon Stadium. I loved this game, really fun. I did a lot of just like the quick matches or exhibition or whatever. I didn't really do too much other than that. As a kid, I just wanted to play it and play with the different Pokemon. I thought it was cool to play it on the big screen on the TV. So this game is really fun. Never played Pokemon Stadium 2, but I heard good things about it. I'm looking out for that one as well. But this is a really fun game. Just really good. Now, this next one, I'm a big fan of Mortal Kombat. And so I ended up picking this up. I never actually played this back when it originally came out. I would have preferred to get the PlayStation version because I'm primarily a PlayStation person or a gamer. But I seen this for a good price, couldn't pass it up. Mortal Kombat 4. Now there's some sticker residue on the front there that kind of bugs me, but other than that, I mean, it works fine. Good game. Wouldn't say it's in my top 3 or anything like that by any means. Good for what it is, but I definitely feel I like 5 more. I think 3 Ultimate, 3, Trilogy or whatever. I think those ones are much better games, but Mortal Kombat is a fun series. I mean, to be honest with you, if it has Scorpion in it, I like it. Hence why I didn't really care for Mortal Kombat 3. But 3 Ultimate and Trilogy were fantastic games. Now, this next game was actually the first game that I got when I was retrying to collect for my Nintendo 64. Got this from a Goodwill. I was just in there glancing around seeing what they had, and they actually had a Nintendo 64 game up there just for like, I think I got it for $1. Really fun. One of the games that got me to actually start paying attention to football when I was younger, and that was NFL Blitz. I used to play this all the time with my dad. My dad and I played a lot more of Blitz 2003 and 2002 that were on the GameCube. But this was like my video game introduction and honestly like my real world introduction to football, because I mean I would watch it every once in a while, didn't really care for it, but then I picked this up and played as the Green Bay Packers and was able to play against my dad, and was just made me fall in love with football, honestly. I know it's not a traditional football game, but whatever. Now, these next two games are very similar. I used to play these all the time when I was much, 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 much younger. But Star Wars Shadow of the Empire, and then Star Wars Rogue Squadron. Let's see. Yeah, it's not going to... Oh, there we go. I guess that's okay. But Star Wars Rogue Squadron and Shadows of the Empire, both are fantastic games. Actually, I mean, obviously they're not going to look that pretty, but I think they hold up pretty well for what they are. Just flying around, blowing up stuff, fantastic games. I mean, if you like Star Wars, these games are really fun. If you like flying games, these are really fun as well. I actually just took out the Shadows of the Empire out of my Nintendo 64 to make this video today. That was the last game that I was playing in there. Now, next up is Diddy Kong Racing. Fantastic game. Used to play this all the time. You can choose to, be in like a kart. Before Mario Kart actually gave you options like in the newer games where you can choose if you want to be like on a motorcycle, a kart, whatever. Now, this game I remember playing so much because you can get in like a plane, you can get into like a cart, you can get into like a little boat, like hovercraft kind of thing. Really fun. It had a bunch of different rare characters in the game. Like it had I think it had Banjo Kazooie in the game, but it was just really fun. I always played as Diddy Kong. I love Diddy Kong. I really want the Diddy Kong Racing for the DS, but haven't found one with the case and everything. But yeah, Diddy Kong Racing was really fun. I remember playing this just as much, honestly, I would say more than Mario Kart. I just remember playing this all the time. My favorite level was the one with like the dinosaurs. I think there may be multiple, but I just knew that there was one with like the long necks, and I used to always love playing that track. Up next is one of my favorite games on the system, and that is WCW versus NWO World Tour. I used to play the heck out of these wrestling games nonstop, honestly, just playing these wrestling games growing up. The N64, like everybody that likes wrestling games knows, N64 had some great wrestling games. Honestly, these games, they don't look like the newer ones. They don't have all the bells and whistles. They don't look as pretty. Honestly, some characters don't even have the correct finishers, but the game just feels good, plays well. It's not quite the main one that I remembered playing, because there were a few that I played a lot. This was one of them, but this wasn't the one I played the most, which is very unfortunate because I haven't been able to find a good copy of it yet. So up next is I have 3 of them that actually have box, manual, and other things. So like the first one I got here, very beat up box. It's only box, game, and manual, and that is going to be NFL Quarterback Club. Again, I'm a Green Bay Packers fan, so there's like 2 or 3 of the football games on the Nintendo 64 that had Brett Favre on the cover, and I love football, so I used to play these. These ones were obviously a little bit more difficult for me as a kid, but because I was a fan of Brett Favre, I used to always try to play him. but the Blitz games when I was younger were definitely my specialty. Fun game. I do prefer Blitz over like the N64 football games, but to each their own. Uh, Now this one is complete. It's not that big of a deal, honestly, but I remember playing this a lot. And it's WCW Mayhem. I used to play this all the time. I mean, I'm a big Sting fan, Goldberg fan, Rey Mysterio fan. There's a lot of good wrestlers that were a part of WCW at this time, and so again, WCW Mayhem, WCW versus NWO World Tour are two fantastic wrestling games. Now, because I showed you these two, you probably know which one I am missing that that I love a lot, that I used to play a lot when I was younger. Now, last one is my most valuable when it comes to, I guess, actual physical dollar amount. But I used to play this all the time with my mom, my dad, and my brothers, and that is Clay Fighter. I have a complete copy with the box in pretty good condition. That has the inner box. It has all the different manuals that and inserts that it came with. Very fun game. I used to play this all the time. I wish that I had the other one, the Sculptor's Cut or whatever, but that one's stupid pricey, and I'm not going to spend all that kind of money. But I used to play this all the time. I know a lot of people honestly talk down about it, don't like it, say it's not that good. But, it just doesn't take itself serious, and you can't take it serious. If you take it serious, you're not going to enjoy it. I just remember playing this all the time. I like playing as the Snowman. I like playing as several other characters. But this game is just really fun. I love the game. If you haven't played this and you enjoy fighting games and you're willing to, not take it too serious, it's been playing in the background. If that looks at all intriguing to you, pick it up. But I mean, literally, like, everything's made out of clay. At least all the characters are, and they just basically beat you up like it was like it's just really fun. It just taking shots at all the different fighting games like Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter that were popular at the time. Just taking shots at them and just being funny. Really, really good game. Now, before I get into the wish list, I did pick this up the other day. I ordered it off of Amazon, but this is a HD TV cable that actually works for the GameCube, Super Nintendo, and the Nintendo 64, so that you can just plug it directly into an HD TV. I was having a lot of trouble where I only had one good cable for like the AV for the GameCube and Nintendo 64, so I decided, I was like, maybe I can record some footage with this, so that's something you guys can look forward to in the future. I'm going to try to see if this is compatible with my AverMedia capture card that I have, plug it in, see how it goes. I should be, if that works, I should be uploading some sort of content with some sort of GameCube and Nintendo 64 content. I do not currently own any Super Nintendo systems, games, or anything. There's a few that I really want, so that is something that we could be doing in the future. But right now I'm focusing on a few different systems like GameCube, Nintendo 64, original PlayStation. But this is very fun to use. I mean, it was pretty easy. You just needed to be able to have a secondary power source available. Like you could plug it into like your computer or into an outlet against the wall if you have something that the USB will accept USB. So I just use like something that for like a phone charger, just plugged it in there and it plugs into the wall, and that's what is actually being used on the TV behind me. If you have any questions or want me to do some sort of like review on it, I mean, I can try to do my best and compare them, and we can go from there. But I mean, I haven't really had any problems. I think it looks a little bit more crisp. My biggest thing is I'm not really looking for the picture quality to be much better. I just want to be able to record footage of it. I want to be able to play it on an HD TV. So it does everything that I'm asking it to do. I don't have any problems. I don't feel like there's a delay. I know some people really want to go out there and spend whatever on that GameCube one that I can't remember what it was called, but there's like this GameCube HD thing, and like costs like more than $100. This, I don't remember how much I spent, but I think I spent $30 on this. I'm not going to spend $100+ for an HD thing for the GameCube that only works on one system and one specific version of the GameCube, which is like the first release that has the component version as well. But this works for 3 different systems and works for, you know, each one of those systems. I'm not too worried about the way they look. They look reasonable to me. They look fine. I mean, it could be nostalgia, but it doesn't really bother me the way that they look right now. So up next is actually the wish list that I have. And now these are games that I had as a kid or that I remember playing at some point. So the 2 that I remember playing, I don't think I actually had them, were the WWF No Mercy and the WWF WrestleMania 2000. Those 2 games were really fun. I remember playing them as a kid. I don't think I actually owned them. They were just really good wrestling games. But growing up, I guess I used to remember watching a lot more of WWF, but for some reason, I used to play the heck out of the WCW games. I actually went to a few WCW shows when I was younger. I'm just a ginormous fan of Sting and Goldberg and, like I said, Rey Mysterio. But the next one is the one that I really want to find for a reasonable price. It would be great if I could find it complete. And I mean, all of these aren't really too expensive. Those 2 and this next one here. The next one is WCW Revenge. I used to play that all the time. I haven't been able to find one near me or around me. I don't trust buying a Nintendo 64 or any cartridge-based things online because so many people fake them, or, you know, just you can order something, come to find out when you get it, it's hollowed out or something like that. Something stupid. I just don't trust buying cartridges online. I only buy cartridges when I'm in the store and they're able to either open it up for me, or I just trust certain stores around me. Now up next, these 2 can be a little pricey, honestly. Nothing too outrageous, but obviously you can tell I'm missing 2 big ones in here, like Mario Kart 64. Used to have that. Used to play the battle mode in it all the time. I love the victory lap that they do at the end of the game, and then like they all jump on the first, second, and third spot. And then the last one that I'm missing that I really want is Super Smash Brothers. I used to play that all the time. I'm a big Smash Brothers fan. I'm not hardcore into it. I don't learn everybody. I don't do all the combos. I don't, you know, go that in depth with it. I would say I'm more of a hardcore Mortal Kombat fan, where I do try to play as multiple characters, and I take that a little bit more serious. Smash Brothers, I mainly just jump in, try to have fun, unlock all the characters, and, you know, just do different challenges every once in a while. Okay, thanks for watching the video today. If you guys have any questions for me, leave it down in the comments. Give me a thumbs up and have a good day. But